The day my parents surprised me while I was moving, what they discovered. Before we begin the story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss more incredible stories every day. My mom is holding a dented metal cash box like it's a live grenade, and my stomach drops. Denise stands in my cramped one-bedroom, surrounded by half-taped boxes and that wet cardboard smell. Her smile is too bright, the kind she uses in public. My dad, Mark, stays behind her shoulder, jaw tight, eyes fixed on the box like he's trying to will it back into the closet. Kai freezes with a roll of packing tape. "Emma, is that yours?" "It's just paperwork," I say, and my voice cracks. Denise tilts the box so the light catches the scratched label I forgot was there. E. Rivera in black marker. Not my last name. Not the name she corrects strangers over like it's an insult. "You weren't going to tell us?" she asks, sweet as honey, sharp as glass. I reach for the box. She steps back. "Don't," she says, and suddenly the room feels smaller. I'm moving to Cedar Ridge for a dispatcher job, 2 hours away, far enough that just dropping by becomes inconvenient. I've planned it like a quiet escape, saving, sorting, keeping my parents on an information diet. Because when Denise helps, she takes over. She rearranges. She fixes. She rewrites my life. Today, she and Mark aren't supposed to be here. They show up an hour earlier with their van and matching smiles. Surprise. Denise sings, already inside before I can protest, fingers on my photos, eyes scanning for anything she could judge. Now her fingers tap the metal lid. The lock is snapped clean, like someone opened it in a hurry. Mark finally speaks, low and flat. "Where did you get this, Emma?" I swallow. "It was in my storage unit. With my baby stuff." Kai's gaze flicks to me, questioning, protective. He knows I rented the unit last month after my breakup, after I found the key in an envelope taped under my old dresser. He doesn't know what I found inside. Denise opens the box. Papers slide out, stamped, creased, official. A birth certificate with a name I've never seen. A photocopy of a court order. A DNA results printout dated June 14th, 2014. Denise's face drains, and she whispers, "We have to leave, right now." Then my dad reaches for my phone, and I realize why. Mark's hand is inches from my phone on the kitchen counter. I slap it away before he can touch it. "What are you doing?" I ask. He doesn't look at me. He looks at Kai. "Can you give us a minute?" Kai's eyebrows lift. This is Emma's apartment. Denise slides the papers back into the box with shaking fingers, like she can erase them by hiding them again. "Emma, sweetheart, you're stressed. Moving is stressful. Let's not make this the thing." It's always not a thing until it's my whole life. I'm moving because my life here has become a loop I can't break. In August, my ex dumps me 3 days after I pay half the rent for the year. I'm sleeping on a mattress on the floor because he takes the bed and leaves me the lease. I'm working night shifts dispatching for a small private security company, listening to people panic into my headset while I pretend I'm fine. And every time I try to rebuild, Denise shows up with a casserole and a list of what I'm doing wrong. She has a key to my building for emergencies. She calls my landlord just to check in. She knows my boss's name because she ran into him at a diner I've never seen her eat at. Once, when I don't answer her texts for 2 hours, she calls the non-emergency line for a welfare check and tells them I'm emotionally fragile. I'm 29. I pay my own bills. I also grew up learning that peace in our house is something you earn by agreeing. So when Cedar Ridge offers me a county dispatcher position with benefits, regular hours, and a clean start, I say yes before I can talk myself out of it. I don't tell my parents the exact moving date. I don't tell them my new address. I tell them soon and let them complain about distance. Then, a week ago, while dragging boxes from my storage unit, I find that metal cash box wedged behind a tote labeled Emma, baby. I don't remember putting it there. I don't remember ever seeing it. But it has my name on it, wrong name, and that snapped lock. I don't open it then. I'm too tired. Too afraid of what I'll find. Now Denise is staring at the box like it's a bomb, and I'm realizing something awful. They're not shocked by what's inside. They're shocked it got found. Denise's eyes flick to the window, like she expects someone outside. An hour earlier, the surprise feels almost normal. I'm in the parking lot with Kai, loading my borrowed U-Haul. My hands are dusty from hauling boxes down 3 flights because the elevator is out again. I'm sweaty, irritated, and still proud, Because the move is happening without Denise directing traffic like a foreman. Then I hear her voice. Emma. There she is. There Van pulls in. Denise hops out with latex gloves and a grin. Mark follows with a dolly and that quiet, dutiful expression he wears when Denise has already decided. I told you we'd help, Denise says, like it's a gift and not a claim. I didn't ask, I say. She kisses my cheek anyway. You look tired. Have you been eating? You're getting that hollow thing again. Kai clears his throat. Hey, Denise. She gives him the smile she saves for people she considers temporary. Kai. Upstairs, she's inside my apartment before I can say no. She opens cabinets. She peeks in my closet. She picks up my prescription bottles from the bathroom counter, turning them so she can read the labels. Mom, I warn. I'm just making sure you packed essentials, she says, sliding them into a bag without asking. You forget things. Mark starts lifting boxes, efficient, silent. But I notice he only takes the ones closest to the bedroom, where my important stuff is. My file folder, my locked desk drawer, the tote from the storage unit I shoved behind winter coats because I didn't want to think about it. Denise spots my wall calendar with my Cedar Ridge start date circled in red. She taps it. So you're really doing this? I'm really doing this, I say. Her smile tightens. We should talk in the van later. Just us. That phrase, just us, has never meant comfort. It means pressure. It means the story I'm allowed to tell about myself gets edited. Denise keeps making comments like tiny cuts. You always were impulsive. You never think long-term. That job will be so stressful for someone like you. When she asks where my storage unit is, my chest locks. I lie and say I emptied it. She nods like she believes me, then glances at Mark, and Mark nods back, like they already know where it is. By the time I turn around, my closet door is wide open. My closet is open, and the winter coats I stacked as a wall are on the floor. Denise is kneeling in the back corner like she owns the space. Mark stands beside her, filling the doorway. Kai's in the living room with a box cutter, trying not to stare. What are you doing? I ask. Denise doesn't look up. Helping. She drags the tote forward. The lid is half off, like someone already checked inside. My heartbeat spikes because I know what's under the baby blankets and faded onesies. Put that back, I say, stepping closer. Mark extends an arm, quiet, final. Emma, stop. Denise lifts the metal cash box from the tote with both hands. The snap lock swings, clicking. The label flashes, E. Rivera. Kai blurts, why is there a lock if it's baby stuff? Denise shoots him a look, then turns to me with manufactured concern. Sweetheart, why do you have something with a different last name on it? Give it to me, I say. Now? She turns the box over, finds the label again, and her face drains. The change is instant. No smile, no softness, just fear. Mark's mouth goes pale at the corners. Denise's voice drops. Where did you get this box? In the storage unit, I repeat. Why are you acting like? Mark, she cuts in, get the van keys. He hesitates. Denise. Now, she snaps, and he moves. I step around him. No, you're not taking anything. Denise stands, clutching the box to her chest. Emma, you don't understand what this is. Then explain, I say. Because you're shaking. Her eyes flick to the front door, then to my phone on the counter. I recognize that look, what truth costs and who pays. Mark comes back with the keys. Denise's hand slides toward her pocket like she's about to pocket the whole box. I lunge. She jerks away. A stack of books topples, and a paper slips out and flutters to the floor, face up. At the top it reads, Petition for change of name. Minor child, filed 2000. Denise steps on the page, and Mark whispers my wrong name. What did he just call me? I ask, voice thin. Mark flinches like he didn't mean to say it out loud. Denise's shoe stays planted on the paper, pinning it to my carpet. Emma, Denise says, like a warning. No, I snap. Read it. Out loud. What name is on that form? She bends, lifts the page without letting me see the bottom, and folds it. This isn't something you dig through on moving day. Kai steps closer. She has a right to know what's in her apartment. Denise's gaze hardens. This is between parents and child. I'm not a child, I say. My hands are shaking, and I hate that she can see it. Give me the box. Denise tightens her grip. Sweetheart, you're emotional. You're stressed. This is not the time to spiral. I'm not spiraling, I say. You're stealing. Mark finally looks at me. His eyes are wet, and that scares me more than Denise's anger. Emma, please. Let's talk in the van. Why the van? I ask. Why are you acting like the walls have ears? Denise's voice turns syrupy. Because it's private. Because we love you. Because you don't understand what this could do. What could it do? I demand. To who? Her jaw clenches. To our family. There it is. Not me. The family story. Denise, the saintly mother. Mark, the steady provider. No one asking questions. My ears ring. I can hear my own pulse over the tape gun click. Somewhere down the hall, a neighbor laughs, and it feels obscene. I'm taking pictures, Kai says, raising his phone. Denise snaps. Put that away. Kai doesn't move. Emma, do you want me to call someone? Mark steps forward, voice low. Nobody calls anybody. Not police, not lawyers. I force my voice steady. Open the box. Right now. In front of me. Denise's lips press into a line. Then she flips the lid and slides one document out with 2 fingers, like it's dirty. On top is a birth certificate with a bold stamp, amended. And the mother's name isn't Denise. Mark's hand clamps over the certificate before I read the father's line. Mark's palm covers the certificate like it burns. I try to yank it free, but he's stronger than he looks. Let go, I say. He shakes his head, barely. Emma, please. Denise uses that moment to scoop the rest of the papers back into the box. She snaps the lid shut with a metal clack, like closing a casket. I'm taking this, she says. You're not. I say, and my voice is steadier than I feel. That's my identity. Those are my records. Denise's eyes flash. Your identity is the one we gave you. Kai steps between us. Denise, that sounds really bad. Stay out of it, she spits. Mark still has the certificate. I can see a line through his fingers. Hospital of St. Agnes. Birth record. Under it, a county seal. Under that, the word amended again, in red. My mouth goes dry. Amended from what? Denise reaches for the certificate. Mark hesitates, then hands it to her without meeting my eyes. She folds it into thirds and shoves it into her purse. You're exhausted, Emma. You're not thinking clearly. We will talk when you're calm. I laugh once sharp. When I'm calm, I'll accept whatever you say. That's why you do this. Her expression turns wounded, practiced. After everything we've done for you? Tell me the mother's name. I demand. Say it. Mark flinches. Denise's lips press together. She doesn't answer. I step closer. Tell me why there's a name change petition in my baby tote. Denise grabs my elbow hard enough to hurt. You are not going to ruin us over paperwork you don't understand. The word ruin lands like a slap. Mark moves toward the door with the box. I see it, the plan. Remove evidence. Control the narrative. Rewrite this later. I grab my phone. Denise's hand shoots out, trying to snatch it. Kai says, Emma, back it up now. I fumble my passcode and hit record. The red dot appears. Denise's face changes the second she sees it. Turn that off. No, I say. Explain. On camera. Mark stops mid-step, box under his arm, and for the first time he looks scared of me. Then Denise hisses a date I've never heard. August 3rd, 1996. They leave without the box, but not without damage. On my doormat, Denise pulls the amended certificate from her purse and tears it in half like a warning. I scoop up the pieces and tape them together on my coffee table while Kai stands guard by the door. Okay, he says calm. We don't guess. We verify. The next morning we go downtown to the county records office. Fluorescent lights, security scanner, people clutching manila folders like life rafts. I request my long-form birth record and any amendments. The clerk takes my ID, types, pauses, then types again. Her voice turns careful. There's a flag on this file. A flag. I repeat. It means the original record is sealed, she says. I can release the amended certificate only. To access the underlying record, you'll need a court order to unseal. My mouth goes dry. Why would it be sealed? She keeps her expression neutral. Adoption. Custody. Identity correction. I force the words out. Is the sealed record under my name? She looks at the screen, then at me. No. The room tilts. Kai puts a hand lightly on my shoulder, steadying me like I'm about to fall. The clerk slides a receipt across the counter for the filing fee. On it, in tiny print, is a case number, CV 2000-11492. If you petition family court, she says, use that number. Kai whispers, photo it. I do. Receipt, case number, clerk badge, and the time on my phone, 9:17 a.m. So concrete, undeniable. Back in the parking lot, my head is loud with questions I don't know how to ask. I'm supposed to be moving to Cedar Ridge, not unsealing my own birth. Kai says, Emma, who seals a birth record if everything's normal? Before I can answer, my phone buzzes. Denise. It's a photo of their van parked outside my storage unit. Timestamped 8:52 a.m. Under it she writes, "We can do this easy. Today." I stare at the screen until Kai gently takes the phone from my shaking hand. Then a second text arrives, "Or we can do it the hard way." We drive straight to the storage unit because I refuse to let them touch anything else. Denise and Mark's van is gone, but the evidence isn't. My padlock is fresh scratched, and the tote labeled Emma, baby, has been dragged to the front, lid crooked like it was searched fast. The fluorescent hump makes the place feel like a bad hospital hallway. Inside the tote, the cash box is gone. I panic for one full second, then spot it shoved behind a broken stroller, lid closed, lock still snapped. Someone opened it again anyway. Kai drags out a folding table. "Lay it out," he says. "Everything." We spread the contents in rows and start reading like our lives depend on it. The name change petition is filed in 2000, signed by a judge, notarized by initials R.H. The child's original name, Elena Rivera. The new name, Emma Lynn Carter. A typed line, reason for petition, safety of minor child. Then a photocopied custody order, edges cut like it was stolen from a larger packet. It references the same case number, CV 2000-11492. Underneath is a hospital discharge summary from St. Agnes dated August 3, 1996. The patient line reads, Rivera, Elena. In pen, someone circled, mother refused to sign. There's also a DNA results printout dated June 14, 2014, a consumer kit, the kind you mail in. The name on the account is D. Carter. Denise's email is printed in the header, half redacted with a Sharpie, like she tried to hide it after the fact. And there's a letter addressed to Elena Rivera, forwarded to my parents' old suburban address in 2007. No return address, just a postmark and a line in thick marker. For the record, I feel sick, not because I understand everything, but because I understand enough. My skin goes cold. Refuse to sign what? Kai points to the bottom. A signature line labeled Legal Guardian. Next to it, in shaky ink, is Mark's name. But the handwriting isn't his. Too loopy. Too careful. Not the stiff block letters my dad uses everywhere. This isn't a messy mistake. It's a timeline. A plan. And Denise has spent my whole life making sure I never saw it. Kai taps the notary stamp and says, "That's my aunt's initials." We sit in the storage unit lot with the papers between us like they're radioactive. Kai taps the DNA printout. "Your mom ran a kit on you. That's not normal." "It's Denise," I say, staring at her half-blacked-out email in the header. Control with a smile. My phone buzzes. "Don't make us come back." I open my notes app and force myself into steps, the same way I do on chaotic calls. Confront my parents. Fast, emotional, and easy for Denise to twist. Track down the notary behind the initials R.H. and risk a warning call. Go legal. Unseal the case. Pull the original record. Follow facts. Kai says, "I know a family law attorney. She helped my cousin. Want me to call?" I nod, because I'm done guessing. We call on speaker. A woman answers with a clipped, professional voice. "Patel Law." Kai gives the short version. I read the specifics. Case CV 2000-11492. Name change petition filed 2000. Hospital discharge August 3, 1996. DNA kit result dated June 14, 2014. Attorney Patel doesn't gasp or soften. She gets colder, more precise. Photograph everything. Do not hand over originals. Do not meet your parents alone. And if your storage unit was accessed without permission, document that too. "Can I unseal the file?" I ask. "Possibly," she says. "Family court can unseal on petition, especially if it concerns your identity. But you need to be ready for what's inside." Kai's eyes meet mine like he's bracing me. Patel adds, "Freeze your credit today. Lock down your accounts." My throat tightens. Why would I need to? People who alter records often alter more than one thing, she says. "I can meet you this afternoon if you can bring copies." Afternoon. That means I have hours, not days. My phone starts ringing. It's my dad. I answer, and his voice sounds like it's coming from the bottom of a well. Emma, please listen. What? I snap. He takes a breath that shakes. Your mother is on her way. And before I can respond, he adds, she's not coming to talk. We don't go back to my apartment. Kai pulls me into his place, 2 buildings over, because it has a deadbolt and neighbors who actually notice things. On his kitchen table, we photograph every page and upload them to a shared folder. Kai makes me email copies to myself, to him, and to a brand new account called Emma Records Backup. My hands shake so hard I mistype the password twice. Breathe, Kai says. You're taking power back. Headlights sweep across the blinds. Denise's van slides into the curb like she's been invited. Footsteps hit the hallway. Emma, Denise calls, right outside the door. Open up. Kai plants himself between the door and me. Go away. Denise laughs, sharp. I'm not here for you, Kai. A fist pounds the door, hard enough that the frame rattles. Emma, I know you're in there. Mark's voice follows, small. Please, let's not do this. Denise snaps, shut up, then switches to that sing-song tone she uses when she's trying to sound loving while she takes something. Sweetheart, just give me the box. You don't need to carry this. I press my forehead to the cabinet and fight the reflex to fix it, to soothe her, to stop the noise. I'm not giving you anything, I call. The hallway goes quiet for a beat. Then Denise says, very calmly, if you don't open this door, I will call your new employer and tell them you're unstable. My blood turns to ice. Cedar Ridge hasn't even started, and she's already reaching for the one thing I'm building. Kai whispers, record her. I hit video and hold my phone near the door. Denise continues, you think they'll trust a dispatcher who's having a breakdown? You want to lose that job? Open the door. My hand twitches toward the lock. The instinct to end conflict is wired into me like a reflex. Mark says, barely audible, Denise, stop. She ignores him. Last chance. Kai's hand squeezes my shoulder. Emma. No. Go ahead. I say, voice shaking. Call them, and I'll send them this recording. Silence. Then I hear paper rustle, like she's holding something up on the other side. Denise says, fine. I'll tell you right now who your real mother is. And Mark starts to sob. Denise whispers a name through the door, and it's on the hospital form. I don't open the door. I stay on Kai's kitchen floor, phone recording, listening to my mother say the name again like a weapon. Rivera. It matches the St. Agnes discharge summary. The name Denise refused to say yesterday. When their footsteps finally fade, Kai crouches beside me. We do this on our terms, he says. Attorney Patel sees us the same afternoon. Her office smells like coffee and printer toner. She flips through the documents once, then again, slower. This is structured, she says, tapping the name change petition. Not accidental. Someone planned to change a child's identity and keep the file sealed. I show her the video of Denise threatening my Cedar Ridge job. Patel nods once. Good evidence. What do? I ask. Patel answers and steps. We file to unseal the case. We request the original birth record and custody file. And you stop meeting your parents alone. Kai asks, what about the notary, the initials on the stamp? Patel's eyes sharpen. It's relevant. But we don't confront witnesses without strategy. Then she offers a solution that makes my stomach twist with relief and dread. Bring your parents here. My conference room. Neutral ground. Witnesses. Recording. A trap, but an honest one. If Denise lies, it's on tape. If she threatens, it's on record. If Mark finally tells the truth, it can't be erased. I text Mark, not Denise. I know about Rivera. Meeting my attorney at 6 p.m. Come explain. He replies, please, let us talk first. Just us. My hands shake as I type. No. Attorney present. Kai present. Only way. The dots appear, vanish, appear again. Finally, your mother says she'll come. At 5:58 p.m., Patel closes the blinds and sets her phone face down on the table. One-party consent applies here, she says. If you record, stay calm and let them talk. Kai squeezes my hand under the table like an anchor. At 6:03, the receptionist buzzes. They're here. The doorknob turns. Denise walks in smiling, and Mark won't meet my eyes. Denise walks into Patel's conference room, smiling like this is a misunderstanding she can tidy up. Mark follows behind her, shoulders rounded, eyes red. Attorney Patel stands. Mrs. Carter, Mr. Carter. Emma asked for this meeting because documents were found indicating a sealed family court file and an amended birth record. Denise's smile stays, but her eyes flick to the blinds. I don't know what she thinks she found. Patel slides the papers forward. Case CV 2000-11492. Petition for change of name. Hospital discharge record dated August 3rd, 1996. Denise's fingers tighten on her purse strap. That's private. It's Emma's identity, Patel says. You don't get to call that private. I start recording under the table. Patel adds, we also have a DNA kit printout dated June 14th, 2014. Account name D. Carter. That's you. Denise's smile finally cracks. I did that to protect her. From what? I ask. Denise looks straight at me, and the warmth drains out of her face. From being taken away. Patel's voice goes flat. Were you the child's legal guardian in 1996? Denise hesitates a beat too long. We were her parents. Patel repeats. Were you her legal guardian when the hospital record says the mother refused to sign? Denise's jaw works. She glances at Mark. He stares at the table. You want the truth? Denise snaps. Fine. Rivera handed you to us. Handed? I say, and my voice doesn't sound like mine. She didn't want you, Denise says, as if she's reciting a story she's told herself 1,000 times. She was unstable. We were ready. We could give you a real home. Patel asks, was there a legal adoption? Denise doesn't answer. Mark finally whispers. It was supposed to become legal later. I hear myself say, small and deadly. So you took me and hoped nobody noticed. Denise's eyes flash. We saved you. Patel taps the signature line on the hospital form. Did you forge Mark's name? Denise's silence is louder than any confession. Then she leans toward me, voice low. If you unseal that file, you'll ruin your father. You'll ruin the family. You'll ruin yourself. And in that second I understand. It wasn't a mistake they were ashamed of. It was a leverage they never wanted to lose. Patel turns to me and says, Emma, you were never legally adopted. Patel ends the meeting before Denise can turn it into theater. My client will communicate through me, she says, and ushers them out. Denise throws one last line over her shoulder at me. You think you're brave? You're just ungrateful. Mark doesn't look back. Within 48 hours, Patel files the petition to unseal. She tells me to document the storage unit access to, so I file a report, reading the officer the unit number and the fresh scratch marks like it's weather. Denise retaliates socially. That's her favorite battlefield. My phone fills with messages from relatives. Your mom says you're having a breakdown. Are you off your meds? Don't do this to your father. Someone sends a screenshot of Denise's Facebook post. No names, just martyr talk about betrayal and a troubled child. Kai watches me scroll and says, she's trying to bury you before you speak. So I speak where she cares most, in front of witnesses. Sunday dinner at my parents' house is one of Denise's rituals. I show up with Kai, a folder of copies, and my phone ready. Denise is in hostess mode, laughing too loudly, touching arms like she's blessing people. When she sees me, her smile freezes, then snaps back into place. There she is, she sings. Our Emma. Stop. I say, loud enough that the room turns. Stop lying about me. Denise's eyes flare. Not here. Actually, here is perfect, I say, and set my phone on the counter. Recording. You've been telling people I'm unstable, so I'm going to play what you said. I play the audio from Kai's door, Denise threatening to call my new employer and label me unstable. The room goes dead silent. Someone whispers, Denise. Mark stands up so fast his chair scrapes. Then I slide a copy of the amended certificate onto the table and point to the stamp, amended. I put the name change petition beside it, CV 2000-11492, and the hospital discharge date, August 3rd, 1996. Denise's voice goes sharp. Turn that off. I look around the table, at the faces she's fed her version to for years, and I realize there's no gentle way through. I'm not your daughter by birth, I say, and you never made it legal. Mark makes a choking sound. Denise lunges for my phone. I grab it first, but her fingers clamp around my wrist. Denise grabbing my wrist is the moment the room finally sees her without the smile. Someone says her name, Denise, and she lets go, suddenly aware of witnesses. I pocket my phone and leave with Kai before she can recover and rewrite the scene. She floods me with voicemails that night, crying, raging, then calm. In the last one, she offers a deal. If you stop this, she says, we'll help with Cedar Ridge. We'll pay the deposit. We'll make it right. Make it right. Not tell the truth. Make it disappear. 2 days later, Attorney Patel calls. The court granted limited unsealing, she says. You can view the file in person. No copies. I'll be there. Family court hands us a thick folder stamped sealed, limited access. Patel turns pages fast, then slower. Inside is an emergency guardianship petition filed weeks after the hospital date, signed by Denise, supported by statements from church friends. The mother is listed only as M. Rivera, described as unfit and a flight risk. The judge's note says, temporary placement granted pending full adoption proceedings. Pending. Not completed. There's also a letter filed later, then ignored, requesting the child back. It's from M. Rivera. The handwriting is shaky but clear. Please stop calling my baby by another name. I read that line until my throat hurts. Patel points to the notary block. Initials R.H. Same notary as your name change petition, she says. This looks coordinated. On the walk to the car, I feel like my bones are made of paper. My whole childhood was a pending that never became legal. I moved to Cedar Ridge anyway. Kai helps me unload, then leaves me with a hug and a list of people to call if I spiral. I start therapy. I lock my credit. I change passwords. I build boundaries like walls. No surprise visits, no private talks, no access to my home. Mark mails one envelope. Inside is a note. I'm sorry. I didn't stop her. I keep it because it's the first honest sentence he's ever given me. And now there's one question I can't avoid anymore. Do I reach out to M. Rivera, or do I protect myself from another kind of heartbreak? Attorney Patel slides me a number and asks, do you want to call? I hold the number for a long time before I dial it. Not because I'm scared of the truth, I'm already living in it, but because I'm scared of what comes after. If I reach out, I can't pretend this ends with Denise losing control. It becomes a whole new story. Grief for a childhood I didn't understand, anger at two people who built a family on a shortcut, and the fragile hope that someone out there might want to know me without owning me. Kai sits at my tiny Cedar Ridge kitchen table, pretending to scroll his phone while really watching my face. Whatever happens, he says, you don't have to do it alone. I think about Mark's note, I didn't stop her, and how quiet complicity can be its own kind of violence. I think about Denise's voicemail offering money like a bribe. I think about that line in the court file, pending full adoption proceedings. Like my life was a task they never finished but still claimed credit for. Patel is honest. The court won't rewrite 29 years. But she tells me one solid thing. Your identity belongs to you. So I do the practical things first. I keep backups in 3 places. I write down dates, case numbers, names, and who said what. I freeze my credit and pull my reports. I change my emergency contacts. I tell my new supervisor in Cedar Ridge, calmly, that a family member may try to interfere, and I document that conversation too. Then I do the emotional thing. I start therapy, and I stop apologizing for needing it. If you're watching this and something feels off in your own family story, if your documents don't match, if your parents react to questions with panic, if family business is a gag order, here's what I wish someone told me sooner. Don't confront alone. Photograph everything. Back it up. Get a neutral witness. Talk to a lawyer, even if it's just a consult. And trust the part of you that notices fear disguised as love. Denise still texts sometimes. Mark still goes silent. I don't chase either of them now. I'm building a life where my peace isn't something I earn by agreeing.